taken down this road of, well, this is how we've always done it, this is what we need to do, and it just isn't working. And I think now we're really starting to see the issues that this is creating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and these are big issues. I mean, this is an epidemic. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, have you had any experience with your colleagues in the medical profession wake up in a more sudden way where the light just suddenly goes on for them and they go, oh my God, what have we done?
There's a few, but they're doing what I do now.
They're,
And a lot of them, it's been because their child got affected, and it's like they really start asking some questions. You know, the education you get is from the companies that are producing all this stuff, so they're sort of skewing what they tell you. And from that perspective, they're just doing what they've been taught to do.
mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's, I think it really has to come to a point where people really start to ask, you know, what are we really doing? What is this doing to our kids? Is there a different way to do this that might be less offensive to the bodies of all these kids?
Right, right. And you know, some of the discussion that I've had, like I'm going to be presenting with Dr. Batar, we talk about the fact that these childhood illnesses and ailments that they say are vaccine preventable are actually beneficial to have, to experience, that they somehow
Right.
strengthen immunity, help the adaptive immunity, and that those that actually encounter these things, they are healthier as adults. They have less or fewer chronic diseases, respiratory
Right.
diseases. I mean that takes it to another level of not just, well, we question vaccinations, but in fact the embracing of, let's say, rites of passage,
Right.
microbial rites of passage.
Well, and your immune system gets primed. And that's why the diseases, when you think about that, the childhood diseases, they prime your immune system to get you ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I had measles, I had mumps, I had all that stuff, and it really didn't, what did it affect? I mean, yeah, I missed some school, but that was
That's
it.
why you're so smart.
Right, I missed school.
Yeah. See, the IQ goes way up when you don't go to school. No, kids, stay in school. No,
Right.
especially if it's a homeschool, stay in school. Dr. John Hicks is our guest. Remind me of a website that people can learn more about you, because you're up in the Bay Area,
Right.
San Francisco Bay Area, Los Gatos area, I think
Yep.
you said.
Yep.
How do they find you online?
JohnHicksMD.com.
JohnHicksMD.com, yes.
Yep.
And it's really good to see you here. Now, one of the things I'm going to be lecturing on is relating to gastrointestinal health, restoring the integrity of the lining itself. Now, I acknowledge that, what we say, mercury is the most toxic, if we can, second most toxic metal, I think, or even substance that we know of naturally occurring. It doesn't belong in an injection. It doesn't belong in food or as an additive in anything. And I want to remove that. But I also recognize that there are a lot of folks, kids especially, that are diagnosed into the autism spectrum, have this chronic inflammatory bowel type disease scenario that it's the most difficult thing to correct. Now,
Well, to me, it's the key. And you've got to really,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you got to correct the gut piece to get them better. Your gut's your second brain. When your gut isn't working, your brain isn't working.
Right.
So to me, when you look at what is it I need to address, you've got to start with the gut.
Right. Okay, so we're on the same page there. And, of course, we would also both agree that we've got to get mercury out of these kids.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea, exactly. There's a story here on healthfinder.gov. FDAOK's new drug for hard-to-treat colitis and Crohn's. I'm thinking, really? They need more drugs? Is that the only way that we can go? And they're calling this thing NTVO. It said it may help when standard therapy for digestive disorders has failed. And I'm thinking all of these drugs has a collateral impact, a collateral damage, an inflammatory, pro-inflammatory, toxic type interaction with the tissue. Is that the best they got?
Well, it's sort of how our system works. I mean, unfortunately, medications have become the answer, they think, to everything. And people just want a pill and be better.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's created this monster that we deal with, and it's a Goliath.
Right.
So what are the pieces we can put into place? How do you heal the gut?
Mhm.
And I think when you approach it that way, not how do I treat the symptoms,
Right, right.
how
Yes.
do I heal the gut and
Yeah.
get it working normally, that's really the big piece.
Yeah, of course, they're talking about injections of this Entyvio. They call it vedolizumab. No wonder why they call it something else when they market it. Uh, they were injecting this stuff, and I look. I say it in my book, and I've said it on the air. The road to colostomy bags is paved with antibiotics and prednisone, preceded by vaccines. But
Right.
they just lead them. They're just hammering them with these drugs. I don't know about this new drug. I'm not have a lot of confidence in it because by definition these synthetic patents are toxic. Uh, but we see. I've had teenagers come to me that were already treated by gastroenterologists and colorectal surgeons. They're wearing colostomy bags. I don't know if you've seen any of
Yep.
those. It horrified me.
Right.
We're kids, and they were all treated with antibiotics and prednisone.
Right.
And they got. Does anybody see something wrong here?
Well, the interesting thing to me is I had the mom of a 17-year-old come to me and go, okay, this is where we are. If we don't get this going, my son's going to end up with a total colectomy. So we planned a strategy. We figured out, okay, these are the things we're going to do and put into place so that we can prevent that from happening. And lo and behold, 6 months, he went back, he had a scope, everything's normal, everything was fine. And it's like, well, how did that happen? Well, they're saying, well, it's the drugs, they finally worked. And it was like, no, they quit taking the drugs. It was the approach of healing the gut and getting it working normally that
Right.
really worked.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, that's what we're all about here on this show. And I know
Right.
that's what you're all about. That's why I wanted to talk to you about this. We're here talking on a myriad of topics. One of the topics you'll be discussing, I believe, today, if you haven't already, is the CBD, the cannabidiol, in pediatric communities and adult
Right.
communities.
And that's going to be on Saturday that we do that talk. And it's really amazing to me when you look at the research, what's there, what's available, that all of this has been sort of closed off. And it, it doesn't make sense because the CBD can help every system.
Right.
And you talk about the gut. Well, one of the best things it does is decrease gut inflammation.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, well, wait a minute. Why do a drug? You've got this natural product from this wonderful plant that was given to us to
Yes.
help us. Let's use it.
Yes, let's use it. Now, I had gut damage as a child. I was the canary in the coal mine of Generation X. And it took me 2 intense years when I was 24 to undo that gut damage. 2 years out of 24 is not bad in the big scheme, but for an American, that sounds way too long.
Right.
I went on organic food. I detoxified my liver with homeopathy and herbs. I did a lot of supplementation. 2 years, okay? Probiotics as well. Now what I've developed as a homeopath are, looking, how do we become more efficient in
Right.
healing the gut?
Right.
Because the Americans don't like waiting a long time. So I helped to develop a protocol that uses silver hydrosol, which is a purer, more active form of colloidal silver, non-toxic, along with aloe vera to drive it in there, and then probiotic follow-up with some adjunct. And I was able to reduce it in the intense situations like me from 2 years to 2 months.
Wow.
Patients. Now with the CBD, I have a feeling we might be able to take that down by half again. I want to talk to you more about
Right.
the anti-inflammatory effects. You stick
Okay.
around? Yeah. One more segment with Dr. John Hicks here at the Robert Scott Bell Show at Autism 1 in Chicago. Super Don's back in. We'll get him on as well. Talking about healing the gut and reversing autism next.
You're listening to the Robert Scott Bell Show. The Robert Scott Bell Show.
This is Richard Ostro, owner for Carnivora Research International. In 1985, former President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House from Europe, where it was manufactured at the time, effectively making him the first American to use Carnivora. He used it successfully for a serious immune challenge, which we are prohibited from mentioning in the United States. I would like to add that he used Carnivora approximately 8 years prior to the onset of his Alzheimer's condition, for those of you inadvertently connecting the two events. Visit us at carnivora.com, now used in 27 countries around the world. Carnivora instinctively seeks out abnormal cells only that don't belong in the body without harming a single normal cell. 100% pure, natural, and harmless to humans and animals. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY. That's 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Your immune system will thank you.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's LS.
All good, Matt?
All good.
All good.
Thanks. We love that. It's a
It's
remote,
all good.
and it's through 4G. Can you imagine?
All good.
Are you watching us on YouTube, Matt? Be honest.
I am not.
Oh,
You are not, then you're missing out.
Probably not allowed.
We're at the Autism One nudist convention, which is,
Not that much fun.
if the camera's trained on us, then it's good
Run!
you're not watching
Run!
YouTube.
Don't hide your eyes. Oh my gosh.
Viewer discretion is
Definitely advised, right? So we're coming back in 30 seconds.
And Pro-Metabolic, all on sale now. Also, the Anti-Parasite Intestinal Freedom and Roarwood Plus Complex, plus Stevia Liquid Sweetener and the Super Enzymes, all on sale for spring at herbalhealer.com. As always, we offer certificate correspondence courses in natural medicine. Enjoy same-day shipping and free online newsletter. Log on now to herbalhealer.com and click on Spring Specials to save big with our nation's leader in supplying quality natural medicine and education since
This is very
1988.
professional.
Herbal
Totally.
Healer Academy.
Totally professional.
That's good. Yeah, the only heavy metal you get on the Robert Scott also is the bumper season. Other than that, we're removing heavy metals.
No
from your
heavy
body.
metals,
We're
right.
removing, and I'm going to be removing them with Dr. Batar here at Autism One. Right now, we're doing it with Dr. John Hicks, a great guy, pediatrician, someone who I would send my children to, and I don't say that lightly, but that's the kind of guy Dr. Hicks is. We appreciate you so very much for all
Thank
that
you.
you're standing up to do correctly and really bringing out a lot of good things for a lot of people in need.
Well, that's what gives me joy.
Yes, and that brings us back to the gastrointestinal issue. I kind of gave a really brief overview, and I'll be lecturing on it on Friday, but I'm very excited about the fact that we can heal the gut where much of modern medicine, even those that are trying, are struggling. And I see that
Right.
because I get those folks coming to me, and I'm
Right.
not accusing the doctors in this case necessarily of doing anything bad other
No.
than the gastroenterologists that all they're doing is antibiotics and prednisone. That's different. So you've had experience with this. You're very aware of it. And you even mentioned one case of a kid that came out of it. So
Well, I think it is. You can come out of it, but you've got to put the right program in place to do that.
yes,
And you've got to control the inflammation. You've got to decrease those problems. And you're not going to do that with steroids that just suppress your immune system, and antibiotics would just irritate the inflammation more.
I call it like the napalm of Vietnam. They totally explode everywhere, collateral damage, indiscriminate, villi damage, leaky gut results.
Right.
And the problem of healing this is that you're always using this system. It doesn't get a break. It's like you got to cut out here, and if you keep scraping it, how does it heal? So we have to use accelerants, I would call it that, making it more efficient to do what the body knows to do. That's why I use homeopathy and silver, different aloe things. Any other things you can share specifically? And I realize we're not giving a total protocol for everybody, but some
I think a lot of it has to do with diet. And the standard American diet is not a good diet. And you've got to really, the thing with going to organic, going to grass-fed, getting back to some basic real foods that are really providing you with the nutrition you need. And that's going to help heal.
Right.
And then lacto-fermented foods, which give you probiotics, which make you alkaline, which allows you to heal more and not be acidic. So it's really some common sense stuff that just is basic.
Yeah, I see the organic foods, the cleaner foods coming in. It comes with less or fewer of the offending elements, those aggravators, those inflammatory components, the pesticides, for instance. So you have the ability to still use your system, but you're not aggravating that system.
Well, yeah, and then a lot of it has to do with your detox system. So the more crap you put in that you've got to detox, the harder that system's working, the less effective it becomes. Now things start building up in the tissue. So it's really this whole piece of supporting good nutrition, supporting your detox system, and then getting your immune system not to be so aggravated.
Right. And Dr. Hicks, when we talk about detoxing, a lot of folks will come with candida that they can never eradicate. They'll sometimes even go on low glycemia, low sugar type diets, low carbohydrate diet, and they're still dealing with it. And I'm saying, have you checked your mercury? Because I often see it correlate with the overgrowth of candida to engulf mercury molecules that they're not detoxing efficiently.
Right. The mercury loves to get into yeast, and yeast loves to have it. So one of the big things is when you start killing yeast, you got to be careful. Can you detox the mercury that they're holding?
They're holding, yes.
Because now you kill all them in this one big slaughter. Now they've freed up all this mercury that's floating around. So you got to make sure you're ready to handle that before you just jump in and do that.
So detoxing mercury, again, homeopathically, minerals like selenium, there are botanical things, but seemingly with the severely damaged, injured children with the vaccines and mercury, different forms of chelation, transdermal, intravenous, really aggressively pulling this stuff out.
You can if they're ready to handle that.
So you prepare them.
Yeah, you got to get them in a good place before you can do that and have them handle that.
Yeah. So at the point that they come to you, are they finding you as already having gone through a lot of the metal detox and then they're coming to you for refinement, or are they coming to you and you're saying, listen, we got to really reduce that mercury burden?
Well, actually it's sort of interesting now with the office in California. More are coming to me that are young parents who have babies that want them to be healthy.
Nice. Wow,
so it's like, I get to do what I'm supposed to do. Prevent things.
Yeah.
So it's really starting them out on good diets, good supplements that they need or don't need, and don't do things you don't need to do.
Yeah. This guy, true healer, a true doctor, true physician in the origin of the word, a teacher. You're teaching people how to heal. We respect you immensely for that. Great to call you friend now. We'll look forward to seeing you next time on the air.
All right. We'll see you.
Dr. John Hicks. And, of course, check him out, johnhicksmd.com. We'll have him linked up in the show notes at robertscottbell.com. We'll be back. We're going to be talking more about helping families that have children who are vaccine injured or otherwise environmentally injured. After this break, robertscottbell.com, 866-939-BELL.
The Robert Scott Bell Show.
In all my years of radio, I've never seen anything like this.
The Robert Scott Bell Show.
For thousands of years, silver has played an essential role in safeguarding human health. Robert Scott Bell Show listeners know that Sovereign Silver, bioactive silver hydrosol, is the purest and most effective form of silver available. Only Sovereign Silver contains the smallest and most active particles in every bottle, each batch rigorously safety tested to guarantee the highest quality. At only 10 parts per million, Sovereign Silver outperforms other colloidal silvers 50 times more concentrated. Sovereign Silver acts faster than echinacea, oil of oregano, and other immune products. Tastes like water and has more uses than anything else for the immune system. And Sovereign Silver now comes in a topical first aid gel. Use Sovereign Silver gel on cuts, scrapes, minor burns, bug bites, itching, eczema, diaper rash, and more. Sovereign Silver is the #1 selling silver brand in the U.S. For a free information packet to order or for a store near you, call 888-328-8840. That's 888-328-8840 or visit sovereignsilver.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself. With the aid of HB Extract, it's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
There was somebody that wanted to talk to you,
for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Her son was a patient of yours.
1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Here.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems.
Want to get her headset set up?
Call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
All right, 1 minute.
Question. Could too many GMO foods and toxins be overloading your digestive and immune systems? Answer, yes. If you're searching for a powerful detox that's gentle enough to use every day, use Pro-EM1 from Terraganics. Pro-EM1 is a powerful liquid probiotic that uses good bacteria to suppress pathogens and gently eliminate toxins from your body. A healthy digestive system will cleanse and remove toxins, support weight loss, improve absorption of food, and aid in controlling yeast and other infections. Pro-EM1 is made with only non-GMO and certified organic ingredients, has no preservatives, and is dairy, soy, wheat, and gluten-free. Pro-EM1 is the key to your digestive health. Order Pro-EM1 Daily Probiotic Cleanse at Terraganics.com, spelled Terraganix.com, or call toll-free 866-369-3678. That's 866-369-3678. Also available through Amazon Prime. Pro-EM1 from Terraganics. Life's getting better.
Sure, no problem.
Here we go. That's you, right?
Yes.
Blow up.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth.
The Robert Scott Scott Bell Show. Scott Bell Show.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive! The masked man who outsmarted you on your gang is none other than
Robert Scott Bell.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!
Robert Scott Bell.
You see, we're on a mission from God.
And that mission has led us to Autism 1 this week here in Chicago. Intercontinental Hotel. Come down and see us. We'll be here today, Thursday, Friday, and then again Sunday. Because Saturday we're flying down to Atlanta, Super Don and I, and we're going to be with the Canaway Group doing some presentations. That's right. My book, Unlock the Power to Heal, out there. And right now we're joined by someone who's also on a mission, helping families, helping moms and dads with kids that have a certain developmental delays, certainly that fall within the autism spectrum. Her name is Brooke Wagner from the Autism Group, and she uses a technique. I don't know if it's called an intervention, but relationship development intervention, which sounds kind of scary. We're intervening, right? Is it really violent, or is it, what do you do here with this RDI?
Well, RDI is a parent-based model, and it is a program that looks at the family system and, in particular, the relationship between the parent and child, and really takes a look at the core deficit areas of children on the spectrum, individuals on the spectrum. We actually support all ages. And some of those areas that we look at would include things like dynamic analysis, problem solving and flexible thinking, being able to emotionally connect and experience share with another person, being self-aware, so that they know what they're good at and what they need help with, and so that they can support themselves when new and dynamic things come up. And so we're really looking at that dynamic ability to process information on a moment-to-moment basis. And we really heavily emphasize parent involvement. So as consultants, we work directly with the family on looking at core breakdown areas between the parent-child relationship and also in the child's development. And everything is based on typical development. And many times we find that our kids have to go back to things that they may not have that happened in the first year of life or the second year of life, and help the parents create opportunities to recreate what was missed, so that they can actually start to think differently.
Okay. In this brochure, you talk about first and second generation autism therapies, third generation autism treatments, unraveling mystery. It doesn't sound like what you're doing is like, we're not doing intravenous chelation to remove mercury. You're doing something complementary to that. It's like working in a different way.
Exactly. And many of our clients do receive RDI in addition to more of the biomedical treatments.
Okay.
Because we feel like, their systems often do need to be balanced, and then they're available for the learning that we're giving them. So, then they can really truly process and experience and make sense of what their parents, the opportunities their parents are giving them.
We're talking to Brooke Wagner. If you're watching on Google Plus or Hangout, we got a video feed now through Twitter. I think you sent it out through our Twitter feed, and
live, streaming live through YouTube.
Through
and
YouTube as well.
And Google Plus.
The Autism Group, and you have a website, theautismgroup.com. Brooke, are you teaching others to do this? Is this available everywhere or just in Chicago?
No, we're actually, the Autism Group is a San Diego-based company, but there are consultants around the world, all across the country, even in Australia, the UK, India. It goes on and on. So there are RDI consultants, and families can find an RDI consultant on the rdiconnect.com website.
Okay.
And when you go on that website, you just click on Find a Consultant, and you will see, all of the different areas that you can locate consultants from.
Wow. Our friend Talia Michelle from Thinking Moms Revolution and Mom's, what is it for medical marijuana, right?
Moms advocating for medical marijuana for autism. Yeah.
And she said she used the RDI method at a certain point with the help that she needed for her child.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So we have some evidence that it's good. So that's cool.
Yeah, our ultimate passion and goal is to increase the quality of life for not just our kids, but for our families.
Yeah.
So they can really feel connected and feel good about their interactions and feel that they can be successful.
Well, on one level, it's sad that we need this kind of thing, but we do, and we're glad that you're there providing it and getting the word out here. And once again, the website again is theautismgroup.com, and it's everywhere, so feel free to reach out through the website, yes?
You can go onto our website or rdiconnect.com, and that's where you would find more global consultants.
That's right,
as well.
rdiconnect.com, and like she was saying, our listeners over at UK Health Radio, They can get
in the UK?
contact with there and on Digital 103 in Australia
as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so you got the reach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brooke, well, we're glad to introduce this to our audience. I appreciate you stopping by here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, excellent. Well, Brooke, we got to make way for Dr. Rashid Buttar.
Okay,
He's a big guy. We don't want to stand in his way, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Dr. Buttar is going to join us momentarily here, and let me just grab this for you.
Thank you
for stopping by. Hopefully we'll get that. Dr. Buttar, come on in, and we are going to be doing some things together with him as well as I stand up and almost lose my headset. Dr. Buttar and I are going to be doing a lecture, 2 hours, 7 to 9, on the politics of healing. We're going to find out, give you a sneak preview of what that's all about. See if I can get that right for you. Dr. Buttar, give me a level check. You're on
level
here.
check.
He's leveled and he's
I
checked.
sound like I'm on the air.
You are. You're live on the air. Absolutely. We are here.
It never sounds like normally when we were, doing a show. It never sounds like I'm on the air, but now it sounds like.
Yeah, because you're actually in studio. That's the difference today, being here with us at Autism One. The buzz is on for this thing we're doing this evening, 7 to 9 at Autism One, on the politics of healing and autism and things. And I've been kind of querying folks about what they want us to talk about, and they just want authenticity. They don't want anything varnished. They want to know.
Well, that's all they're going to get anyway. So right.
I was thinking they asked the right guys to speak today.
Ask
for that.
and ye shall receive.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was just going to say, we don't know any other way of doing it.
We don't. Yeah. So like I said,
this is about the most rehearsal we've ever had before anything. So
we actually sort of thought about some of the things we might want to bring out. Of course,
yeah.
We tend to be spontaneous as well, and I think that's okay. But they really want to know what happened, how did we get here, what can we do, what is it really? All of these things related to autism and the diseases surrounding it, and the ailments and expressions of this thing. And even the politics over the years, the controversies that have been here. And for those that are new, there are a lot of new families that may not be aware of it, but they're more interested in, well, we just want to, I think everybody on some level wants to get their kids well, but have been distracted and strayed their agendas, their egos and things. And how do we cut through all that?
Well, I think that's the key right there, what you said, the ego. Unfortunately, sometimes people get so attached to where the train is moving that they forget really what the purpose of reaching the destination was in the first place. They get so involved with the mechanics of the train and how it's working, et cetera, et cetera. And you and I discussed this last night, that when a parent has a child and the child is not fully recovered, there's almost like a withdrawal they go through. They don't know what to do. It's like, what next? And they don't know, because in their entire life they've been thinking this is a situation we have to deal with the rest of our lives. And
but they were told that by experts, where the doctor said, that's it. You're done.
Yeah. I just had that recently with actually one of the people that's over here, Eric, that you saw.
Yes. He's a pharmacist as well.
Exactly. And his thing was, because I told him back in March, I guess it was, that that we don't need any more treatment. He's neurotypical. He's everything's appropriate, normal. I mean, great kid, good looking kid, and then we saw the medals were still up a little bit. And I said, well, subjectively speaking, there's no implication here, but there's still some medals, and we just want to, finish them. So we continued treatment for a couple more months. But it was kind of like, he looks at his wife looks at him, they get emotional, a little bit of tears in their eyes,
right.
Like, what do we do next now?
Yeah.
I got to find something else that is.
Can you imagine, Don? I mean, if you're told your kid is harmed in a way that they can never really recover, expect this for the rest of their life, and then you not only find a way to undo that, but then through the course of that recovery, at a certain point, you are told your kid is fine. Your kid is neurotypical now.
Right.
And you didn't have that.
And
belief.
they can see it themselves. It's not that they can, but it's just like, so in fact, look, I'm going to show a video tomorrow, and the mom's here, who had 9 different doctors from the Mayo Clinic tell her that the child would, the exact words were, get used to it, the child needs to be institutionalized, and he'll always be in diapers. And so you'll hear her on video, her talking. She's here. She's so
it's that kind of thing.
And none of that stuff is true anymore.
You're not only having to overcome the belief system of the medical community that says they're that way for life.
Absolutely.
But even your own, because part of you, even though you didn't accept it because you went to someone like Dr. Buttar to get your kid well, there's still some lingering doubt that when you got there that you're really seeing what you're seeing, even though you know you're seeing it, but you have to hear it.
That's right. And it's a difficult thing. It's a belief thing, like you said. That's the key word there, belief.
Well, and it's interesting because you guys are going to be talking about, what's the name of the presentation tonight? What's it called?
The politics of healing.
Of healing.
Yeah.
Okay, because listen, politics get involved, and we talk about this all the time, right? And that's one of our sweet spots is we love talking about the politics.
No, we've never talked about
politics. Never.
Not political. We're apolitical.
But let me throw something at you here, because we just recently had what we call the Canna Moms. We had a Canna Mom on, Sierra Riddle. Her son got leukemia. was taking chemotherapy, was treated with medical marijuana, cannabidiol, has had numerous tests now showing that the cancer's gone.
Mhm.
But she is required by law to continue giving her son chemotherapy. Otherwise, CPS will come and take her kid away.
Yeah.
For 2 additional years, they said.
Yeah, until 2016, they're going to force this kid who has no cancer to continue to get chemotherapy because that's what they say you have to
that's
do.
the standard of
What
care.
advice would you give to somebody like that who's saying, I don't want to give my kid chemotherapy?
Advice. Don, this is beyond a thing of advice. This is like getting a freaking plane, getting a shuttle, get out of the planet Earth. I mean, the chemo is going to hurt anybody. They know that. They call it. The oncologist, when I was in general surgery residency, when we did rounds with oncology, the oncologist would say when it was time for them to get to look at the watch, oh, it's time for me to go poison a patient. That's how they refer to it.
Wow.
Right.
So now when you take a normal, healthy immune system and you give that person chemotherapy, you're going to cause a destruction in their immune system because by definition it is destroying everything. It's like setting down napalm. Napalm is not selective in what it's going to take out. It's going to burn everything.
Now, when you talk to her, though, and people ask her that, they say the same thing. It seems obvious, you don't do it. But she'll say, I have no choice because if I don't give my son the chemotherapy, they're going to take my son away.
I would challenge that. It's my kid that doesn't have cancer.
Right.
In a court of law. I mean, this is the same thing that the doctors do. I don't have a choice. I have to do it. What do you mean you have to do it? Even if somebody put a gun to my head, and I've said that. That's what the medical board did with me. They put a gun to my head and they said, if you don't do this, we're going to. And I said, fine, go ahead and bury me with my patients then. If I can't see my cancer patients, and that's what it's going to take, then go ahead. I mean, literally, at some point you have to draw the line. And if a person's not willing to draw the line, part of this is a victim mentality. They think of themselves as victims, and so they're going to be treated as victims. A prey gives off a pheromone, and it's a pheromone of susceptibility, of exposure. And so they see the ones that, they don't go after everybody like that. They go after who they think that they can go after. And in fact, Robert, when we do this documentary I told you that's being shot, that's going to be on either Discovery Channel or wherever it's going to be, we need to talk about this aspect of it too, because
I do think so. Yes.
Yeah, because we need to talk about not only where the treatments are going and how things are not being, because Dan Burton's going to be on there, Diane Watson, this with the goal is to have people that have really gone along with this from a political basis for the last decade or more that know historically what the perspectives are. Not only that issue, we also need to make sure that we address these other components where it challenges.
Stick around. We're up on the clock break here. The Robert Scott Bell Show continues with Dr. Rasha Buttar. One more segment here at Autism One today. We got lots more healing to go. We'll talk about changing your posture as a parent.
Revolution will be broadcast.
The Robert Scott Bell Show.
Matt, you forgot to send us traffic.
Hey, didn't hear any music.
Yeah, I had it potted down.
Yeah, I figured. All right, we were looking at the clock, thankfully, for Super Don. He was here with us. So one more segment. Everything going well other than that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Herbs and a lot more. Feel young like you did before, and let Mother Nature's medicine work it like it's there for. I know you care for your health, therefore don't eat those GMOs. Throw them out the back door. Don't stay poor with your diet if it's killing you. Enjoy your life with nutrition that's filling you. We got freeze-dried food that's organic, super clean, super food, best on the planet. Blueberry, strawberry, even pomegranate. Yeah, it's ready to ship, and if you buy it, you can have it. Yeah, this is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. Check out store.naturalnews.com for all your organic supplements and superfood. Or call 888-959-6415. That's 888-959-6415 to order now. Coconut, maca spirulina, goji berry, superfood protein.
Loads of people tell me I have energy to spare. And yeah, a lot of times I do. It's largely because I'm drinking Robert's water from the Echo ionization and alkalization system. You've heard me talk to Paul Barretiero, my good friend here, and he's with me now telling you about these virtues of why everybody should be drinking Robert's water.
Absolutely. Everyone wants more energy. You bring up a good point, Robert. You have good energy, but everybody doesn't have good energy, so they want a little bit of a boost every day. Well, I don't know of an easier way than to drink Echo water every day.
And, of course, immune enhancement, detoxification, all of these things enhance energy. And so it's simple as putting it right there at your faucet, and you can drink it too. Echo Water, check it out at robertswater.com. Phone number is 800-337-7017, 800-337-7017. Money back guarantee?
Absolutely. Never had to pay out yet, but 60 days.
800-337-7017, 800-337-7017. Free downloadable ebook. The Power to Hydrate is now yours. Go to robertswater.com.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically, and Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off of your entire order, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Tired of taking handfuls of vitamin pills? Look and feel super with a great-tasting liquid vitamin and mineral supplement called Passion for Life. This incredible 1-ounce daily drink can lead to better stamina and energy due to faster, more complete absorption. Passion for Life contains 135 all-natural whole food ingredients. It's the best-tasting, most powerful product of its kind on the market. Order now by calling 844-TRY-LIFE, or find out much more about Passion for Life by visiting 844trylife.com. 844trylife.com.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely. We got some good stuff. It's gonna be great.
And I kicked your door and took your stuff. With all the door devil reinforcing your door frame.
Irvin Sonny just posted that from last year. Last year we did that.
Oh
yeah. We did the show in the room.
Once you've got new stuff.
Door Devils are available at participating Ace Hardware stores and locksmiths. Or visit DoorDevil.com.
You like to play the drums or something, you know?
Yeah. I said this to Dr. John Hicks, who was on before you. Still want you to meet that pediatrician. I said, that, the only heavy metal you get on the Robert Scott Bell Show is the bumper music. Other than that, we remove heavy metals from you with every broadcast. And he was cool, by the way. We'll get into posturing because he's a pediatrician, and we were talking about the gut and the inflammation. And I talked about the mercury. He says, well, yeah, we got to get the mercury out, or else you're never getting the source of the fire, so to speak. So he's on board with us.
Which is really a very common sentiment among most people when you bring it up, yet they don't address it.
Right.
They say, yeah, of course you got to do that, but
they don't do it.
They don't do it. It's like, well, why? Of course, if we got to do it, then it's almost like in the same thing. Well, I've had so many people, including pediatricians, tell me, well, they don't have thimerosal vaccines anymore, or dentists saying, well, they don't have mercury in amalgams anymore. Well, what the hell is an amalgam? Well, it's not.
It's made out of amalgam.
They say it's it's made out of amalgam. It's a silver filling, but it's mercury. It's 49% mercury.
Depending on
elemental mercury.
Yeah, it's incredible. Oh, by the way, we're talking about with Dr. Rasha Buttar. If you don't know the voice, you're new to the show. Every Monday we go, man, seriously, advanced medicine, and it's a bonus.
Super Don, isn't it by this time, though, after 3.5 years, don't you think that my voice is probably as well recognized as his now?
I would think so.
I've seen people hear my voice and turn around and walk the other way, so I figured it might recognize my voice.
Oh, you're that guy. It's that guy.
I'm just that confident that we're getting new listeners all the time. I want to be sure they know what's going on. And the 9 Steps to Keep the Doctor Away is the international bestseller, if you haven't said it. But the posture of parents, because Don asked a great question about these families that are being bombarded with the intimidating it's government, it's medicine, it's the doctors, the lab coats. You have to give your kid chemo or we're going to take your kid away from you. I'm like you. I'm like, you're not doing it. I'm going to leave the country first. But there are people that are not there yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Robert. At what level are you willing to protect your property, your assets, your wife? And so this is just another one of those questions. Kids falls right in there. What are you willing to do that's necessary to protect your family? And some people just aren't. Some people are willing to give up their rights. And in the words of James Agler, who was a Supreme Court justice, if somebody is swayed, and this I'm paraphrasing, if somebody's swayed by honeyed words, they basically essentially give up their rights, and it's only the one who is willing to stand up and be belligerent is the one who retains his right. And it has to be retainable through sustained combat. And that's really how freedom is achieved. Now, if somebody just buckles over and says, well, they're going to, I can't because they're going to take my kid away, you've already made that, you've already given them the power that they're going to take your kid away. Well, then that's their decision to do. But nobody's going to take my kid away, and especially for me to protect my child.
But listen to this. If, like someone like that, a single mom, not well off economically, is in that situation, and she realizes that if she does stand up, that they will, that's a point where I think you're within your lawful responsibility to remove that kid and you from that environment, because it's a battle you can't win on that battlefield.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You say, oh,
whatever
I'm not going
it takes,
there.
whatever it takes. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
If you can't combat it, then you leave. It takes two to engage. You do whatever is necessary.
Right.
Because here's the thing. At the end, who do you have to answer to? Are you worried about answering to the Child Protective Agency or to some magistrate, or are you really worried about answering the Creator? Did you do your response? Did you do the best? I'll tell you, for me personally, if somebody's going to do that to my kids, I will have to have 3, maybe 4 rounds in my body, and my heart has to have stopped.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's something that it's been bred out of the American. I call it Americanus Bubicanus. It's like we've lost that sense of fierce independence to say, no, we will not. The Rosa Parks of the world that said, no, I'm not going to the back of the bus. Right now, as I've said, don't even get on the bus because the bus is going to take you a place you don't want to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's a great analogy, the Rosa Parks. I mean, people have stood up, throughout the history of time, and it took 1 or 2 people to stand up. And fortunately, there's a lot more people that are willing to stand up now than there were back then.
Yeah.
But that's the point. You have to stand up, and for a parent to do that, you see, they're looking for the weakest person. So they're going to take that weakest person, intimidate them, and then try to use that person that illustrate their position that if you don't do this, this is what we're going to do. So it's so important for the weakest person to be strong.
Like they're making an example of
somebody. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't tout the party line, we're going to punish you. Well, you know what? Understand that you are a beacon here. They're looking at you to be the weak spot, become the strong spot, and you can reset and reboot the system and go the totally opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, Ty Bollinger, no, Dr. Bitar does not have something hanging out of his nose. I'm right next to him. He's watching. Ty is watching us today.
It's so funny because Ty has nothing else to do. I mean, seriously.
He's supposed to be busy editing his cancer
Exactly.
series.
You're doing something.
Go back. The Truth About Cancer starts on Monday. TheTruthAboutCancer.com. See Dr. Bitar in it.
You get a life.
I'll be there too. We love you, Ty. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back.
I don't
tomorrow.
love Ty.
Well, except for Bitar. Don, do you love Ty?
I love Ty.
All right. Peer pressure. Listen, we got a lot more to do, Dr. Bitar and I, this weekend. We're going to have a great time doing it. In the meantime, all we got to say to you is the power to heal. It's yours! Thanks, Dr. Bitar.
The Robert Scott Bell Show.
I didn't know I was supposed to pipe in there, but
you didn't have to. That's good. All right, guys. Very well done.
Hey, Doc,
Thank you.
I was one.
All right, thanks, Matt.
What would it be?
That's easy. Beta glucan.
So we got to run over there real quick?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
All right. Well, that is the live streaming of the Robert Scott Bell Show. We will be back at some point here continuing to do this, so stay tuned. We'll post updates on Facebook and Twitter when we are going to be doing this live again. And as I said, I believe we'll be doing this, I don't know, probably about a half an hour. We've got some other interviews that could not make it onto the live show that we will be recording, but if you want to get a sneak preview on those interviews, tune in to this YouTube channel and just keep track of the Facebook and the Twitter, and we'll give you an alert to let you know that we will be live on here again. But it looks like this all went well, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your feedback on Facebook. That's hard to say. and we will. I guess we'll start doing this a lot more as time goes on. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we will let you know we're going to be live on Google Hangout and YouTube again. And thank you, Ty, because I know you're still watching. We love you, Ty.